Welcome to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, on the banks of the Ohio River, where the New England Patriots are no longer among the ranks of the unbeaten. They fall for the first time this year, 13-6 to the Bengals, and I'm joined by a special guest this time, Nick Underhill of MassLive.com. Nick, thanks for taking time out. Chris Price and I usually in these games, up to this point anyway, for 4 weeks, would joke after the game, Patriots played an ugly game, but they came out on top. This time, however, playing a very ugly game, especially their offensive line, cost them. And I think that's really where the game was lost, along the Patriots' offensive line.
Yeah, they couldn't do anything to stop the Bengals pass rushers. I thought their defensive line pressure pretty much was good. The offense, I was saying, Brady didn't play particularly well. There were some miscues, the pass to Dobson at the end, the second to last play, I believe. Dobson went to the post, Brady threw the corner. If he would have been looking his direction, maybe they tied the game up. Amendola got close. I mean, they had chances as bad as it was, but they just couldn't get that last touchdown.
I'm talking to Logan Mankins inside in the locker room, and he point blank said, we let the defense down. Our defense has been playing great all season long, and we feel like the offensive line, speaking for the offensive line, we let the defense down, we let the team down. Tom Brady, and you were talking to me about this, I think suffered a record number of quarterback hits, hurries, sacks. I can't remember a game going back to maybe the last Super Bowl the Patriots were in against the Giants. Brady had been pressured so much and moved off the spot.
Yeah, I mean, this is my fourth season here, and I've never seen the offense so out of sync. Just almost every single play. Geno Atkins was pushing guys into him or getting to him. Just every single play, it seemed like there was pressure, and they just couldn't get anything going.
And this is a Cincinnati Bengals defensive line that was without one of their elite and highest paid, as a matter of fact, pass rushers in Michael Johnson. He was out of the game with a concussion, but still the Patriots had trouble all day long. Talk about the offense, and specifically a couple of players. First of all, Danny Amendola makes his return. How did you think he looked?
I mean, he moved well. He didn't seem to be too hobbled by the groin or anything. Didn't really show up too much till late in the game. Maybe had 2 catches in the first half. He got close towards the end, almost found his way into the end zone. It was a good first game back for him, but maybe he still needs to get a little bit more time to get back in sync. He missed 3 games, so that might take a little bit of time.
And, I thought that too. I thought just there was a tick off in his game in terms of the timing with Brady, in terms of the route running and when to cut. And I think for the first game back, he looked good, and Brady finally started targeting him in the second quarter and throughout the rest of the game. But I think, essentially, Danny Amendola is going to take a week or two to get back to the form that we saw in the preseason when he was very effective.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And then the other guy that came back, Dobson, I thought he started to play well in the second half. He made the idiot play with trying to get too many yards. And, he kind of joked about that after the game. Well, I wouldn't say joke, but, he made a comment and just admitted that he was, a little bit down there. And, again, that play, the second one to the end, it's just going to bother me until, I go back and look at it. But he was so wide open on that. And I don't understand how Brady threw to the corner when he had the post wide open.
Maybe back in the days of Wes Welker, that's where Wes would wind up going to the post right here, as a matter of fact, right behind where you're standing, as opposed to going to the post, which is where Dobson wound up running. As for the defense, what did you think? I thought, again, the defensive line played great for a full game without Vince Wilfork. They stopped the run for the most part, a few big runs here and there by Gio Bernard and Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. But overall, I thought a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, they shut him down pretty much the whole game until Gio had a 28-yard run, and then things started flowing a little bit. I thought Keep the Lead played pretty well on A.J. Green. Maybe not as good as he has in other games, but he was good enough. He had 5 catches for 61 yards. The big one was the one that got him into the scoring position where he missed a tackle, and A.J., he got him on the 6. But other than that, I mean, I thought he played a good game. The defense as a whole was pretty solid.
I think, Nick, the play the Patriot fans are going to look back on all week. I had people, tweeting me on Twitter. It's going to haunt them all week long, was the 3rd and 18. The Bengals pinned at their own 2-yard line. Kyle Arrington and Devin McCourty allow Marvin Jones, the Bengals' 3rd receiver, to get loose down the sideline for a first down, and that was on the lone touchdown drive of this game.
Yeah, that was a bad play. Then losing Tommy Kelly there on that drive, that might have been the difference. Maybe they stopped Ben Jarvis on 4th down and they get out of here with the win. Maybe get a field goal or something again. I don't know.
To really wait and see what the condition is. Tommy Kelly came out of this game holding his right knee. He made it off under his own power, but I think it goes without saying they can ill afford to lose another big nose tackle in the middle of that line.
That would kill them. If they're stuck with Chris Jones and Joe Villano, they played okay, but you lose Kelly and Wilfork, that would be awful. I don't know what they'd do from there. I mean, it would be really, really bad.
Well, what was awful was certainly the rain coming down, symbolic in that fourth quarter of the kind of day Tom Brady and the Patriots had here in Cincinnati. The final again, the Bengals 13 and the Patriots 6. For Nick Underhill of MassLive.com, I'm Mike Petraglia, WEEI.com.